get this over with. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay. Let's start. We have to end at 12 because I have a doctor's appointment at around I think 10. I have to go to Wadsworth and get my physical, and then maybe look for a therapist. And get some career advice. Because I am lost right now. But, you know, hey, when you're 25, when are you not lost? When are you not unsure what to do with your life? At this point, that's just your average 25-year-old, right? That's just your average person in their 20s. I'm about to be in my late 20s. That feeling sucks. Because, like, it's this constant reminder that you're not a kid anymore. And yeah, that's great, There are many wonderful things about not being a kid. Like, you get to drive, and you get to watch rated R movies. And if you have a girlfriend, well, you get to have sex with her. Consent, if she consents. But I don't know. There's some obvious downsides. When I was walking home, a couple of high school kids called me sir, and it's like, damn. Just damn. Or mister. It's like I'm also starting to. I'm gonna switch music. I've also started to think that teenagers were annoying. Whenever I get into a bus with teenagers, I'm like, oh god damn it, no. Fuck, they're here. Why, God? Why must you punish me? It's like as if I wasn't a teenager. Like, what? Like 5 years ago? Not 5 years ago. Like 6 years ago. I mean, I don't know. Growing up is. Growing up is wild. It's a wild experience. It's wild. Whoa. Probably could. I need to find. I don't know. My stylus. The tip of my stylus is slowly but surely shrinking. I'm not sure how to replace it. Sorry, I have no energy. It is 11 o'clock at night. I am planning on posting this, but I'm a perfectionist and I want to be able to basically just put as much as I can into this before I inevitably have to post it and watch it get mistreated by the algorithm because it doesn't have boobies or
out here.
fuck shit or I don't know. sorry. Well, I forgot what I was saying. God damn it. Okay, so basically mistreated by the algorithm. I think this because it doesn't have boobs or OnlyFans models or like inflammatory content like gender war stuff or politics. Maybe that's my issue. Maybe I should put in more tits or just opinions that no one that are designed to piss off one side of the argument. Right? Might as well. Can't beat them, join them. Find an obviously like shitty person on social media and just dump on him or her. It's like, wow, this person sucks. And then, it's like have just have people go, what a good point. Like, no. More slop. Or maybe I should mog for the camera. Just buy a camera, suck my cheeks in, arch one of my eyebrows, and smile. Isn't that what the kids like? Are you not entertained? Are you not rizzed? Young, impressionable Gen Alpha child? Times are changing. People I know are aging. I am scared. Because I know what that means. It leads to the impermanence of everything and the impermanence of myself as an extension. And I have skillfully learned to ignore it and repress it. And I can only do it for so much. And maybe I'm going to have to learn the meaning of the Bible verse. We come from dust and return to it. And from dust you shall it, into dust you shall return. Very poignant. I'm gonna have to learn how to accept my impermanence. Like, truly do it. And I'm not scared. I'm kind of scared because I remember the last time I did it, and I wasn't ready, and it left me afraid and scared, and down rabbit holes that eventually led me to Ben Shapiro. And I don't really think I want to go back there. I don't want to go back to, Ben Shapiro, this dweeby little pundit, just dunking on college kids for views on the internet. That's fucking lame, bro. You know what? Let's instead of talking about all this, let's talk about my weekend. Okay, so Friday, my cousin invited me out. We went to a dancing club, and not just any club. It was kind of like, Sounds of Brazil. It was they were very much into like salsa dancing and merengue, and I was unsure about it, but then I saw the ad, and I was kind of a bit, intimidated. I never really danced with strangers before. I've only danced with my family. And, not that, dancing has to be like a sexual mating ritual thing. It doesn't. But still, I'm still going up to women, strangers, and asking them to do something. I was, like, when you're me, I as a kid, or not, yeah, actually as a kid, as a teenager, one of the biggest things that that people would roast me on was how I never had a girlfriend, or I never got laid. And basically, how it's like I'm the type of dude to never get any, quote unquote bitches, and that in the future, my life, for the rest of my life, I am just going to beat my meat. Wake up, beat my meat. Go to work, come back, beat my meat. All of my sexual experiences will involve an incognito tab and some tissue paper and maybe some lotion, and that's it. I will never know the touch of a woman. I have no game, none of this, none of that. I'm just hopeless. And it's like, as a kid, I always wanted a girlfriend. I never knew what it was like, or what it actually kind of like, or what it was. So I start with that. Mom has to announce that she has to go to bed. I don't know why, but she does. Anyway, I don't exactly know the stressors or the cons of having a girlfriend. I just wanted one, and that kind of, that affected me. And it's like, you could say, oh, don't worry about that, just be confident. And it's like, well, confidence is kind of hard when you've essentially been a kid who's been picked on all of his life, and not to mention it's like most of the time that you could have invested towards, say, character building activities or sports or any extracurriculars that could add to your confidence was essentially in therapy. Like I had to basically go to therapy to understand what social cues were, and I'm not like dunking on my parents or a therapist. Like it was needed because socializing was something that I had a very tough grasp on, especially in middle school, which was tough for me. And yeah, granted, I wasn't ugly. You know, I did manage to get some girls who liked me. I never really dated them, but I knew I had an idea. But something always kind of got in the way of me dating them. And of course, like I'm not gonna lie, those things were myself. For the girl who liked me when I was in middle school, well, I kind of had a crush on her friend. And then for the chick in high school, uh, wasn't all that attracted to her at all. I didn't really find her attractive, not in the slightest. I mean, I was kind of a dick. Like I would kind of go and flirt with her a little bit, but only for an ego boost, and that's kind of fucked up. But I did it because, well, I was so insecure about it. I was so insecure about my ability to attract anybody, and this kind of came back as kind of like self-limiting beliefs for for my time in like in the dancing place. And of course, I had to kind of like give myself a pep talk. It's like, hey, no, don't give yourself self-limiting beliefs. Don't give yourself negative talk, okay? It's like, dude, it's just dancing. It's not a big deal. You dance with your family all the time. Just go up to them, ask, do you want to dance? If it's a yes, have a good time. If it's a no, then just then bad, like it's fine. It's not a big deal. And I kind of had to give myself a lot of pep talk, a lot of pep talking. Just make sure, like like yeah, it's like it's fine. Everything's gonna be okay. You're going to be with family. You're going to be with your sister. They're going to be with you every step of the way. It's going to be okay. And sure enough, it was. I when I arrived, I first danced with like my family. I danced with my sister. I danced with my cousin. It wasn't a big deal. Then I decided to challenge myself and be uncomfortable, and I went out there, and I talked. No, and I started to dance with strangers. And some of these strangers were pretty attractive. And that's something I'm kind of proud of myself for. Because normally I just be the guy standing by while everyone was having a good time. Like I'd be the wallflower in like a party, but I wasn't. I went out. I talked to people. I danced with them. I think I throughout the dance party, I danced with the most people. Now, of course, it's just dancing, but still, it was a hurdle that I made myself cross, and honestly, I'm kind of proud of myself for that. Because normally, I just, I'd be just, the shy one. I'd be in the corner, just feeling bad about myself, like nobody cares about me, nobody wants me. I'm an incel. I'm a little baby bitch. But instead, no, I decided, just like, I like, I just, I decided to basically just like, you know, get out there. I took a deep breath. I counted my steps. And when I was there, I just said, "Do you want to dance?" And the girls, to my surprise, were like, sure. And I was like, wait, what? It was amazing. Ah, God. And granted, I did get rejected a couple times, but I immediately, like, it's like, I was like, okay, okay, okay. Then I went and like asked another woman, and she was open, and she was nice, and we danced, and it was not that bad, and it was great. I think yeah, it's kind of funny. I mean, as I was I was as I was like you know as I was like approaching these women, I was kind of like stimming. I was like rubbing my hands because I was so nervous. And like when I came up to them, I started to talk like Wilson Fisk from like Daredevil. Do you want to dance? Do you want to dance, Vanessa? Cause life is one big dance. Yes. Like that. And it was like no one could hear. I'm glad no one can hear it because I was a nervous wreck when it was happening. Jesus. Um, yeah, no, but it was great, and I think okay, this might be a personal thing. If my cousin were on this stream with me, he would just roast me about how I was like basically two stepping the for an entire 15 minutes with this woman. But hey, I a win's a win. I danced with a cougar, which was hey, she was like 42. She had two kids. One was like 7, one was like 9. She looked really nice for her age. At first, she was dancing with my cousin, but then she decided she wanted to dance with me. And granted, I did fumble it pretty bad by two stepping, but hey, it was pretty good. It was pretty good. Granted, she was drunk, and I will defend myself on this. There were tons of shit. There were tons of tables and couches on the floor. We couldn't. There was no open space for me, and I was so nervous to bump it. And also, she was kind of like a little bit drunk. Nothing inappropriate happened. I was respectful. I was a gentleman. I didn't want to, I didn't want to, I gave myself multiple outs. Hey, if you want to keep dancing, that I'm completely okay with that. I gave her outs. She still wanted to do it. In the end, I did pretty well. I did pretty well. And if she were a single mom, I would have hit that. Well, not hit that, but I would have come close. I miss her. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. She's married. So yeah, no, this weekend was pretty good for me. I also got this badass new bookshelf for all my comics and such. I put all my floppies in like little half boxes. Then all my graphic novels are like on the top and the second to top shelf. The top shelf has all the American stuff and the indie stuff, and the second to top shelf has all my manga. And I essentially, as I was like, I made sure that every book that I had was organized in alphabetical order. Well, except for like I think the one, two, three, fourth shelf. Yeah, no, they're organized by genre. So yeah, no, it's pretty nice, and I think Mother's Day went pretty well, and that's my weekend. So yeah. Also, I have one thing that I need to worry about. I think confidence. I have a real big confidence issue. one, I think I'm a person that requires constant reassurance. It's like I always need validation to know that I'm to, to, to get to be able to feel like I'm getting in the right direction. And it's like, well, yeah, of course I do because that's how I was raised. You know, validation was my fuel. If I got validation from my teachers, that was a good day. If I got validation from my parents, that was a good day. You know, validation was the fuel, but I feel like that's kind of like I feel like that fuel's kind of like my I don't know, my inaction because well it's like I'm doing the right thing, meaning I'm cool, I can chill, and I basically chill too much and I don't get anything done. I procrastinate. That leads to procrastination, and I have to learn how to not rely on that to just move without it, to work, to basically just make stuff and not worry about the validation of others and put it out there. And if it does well, it does well. And if it doesn't, on to the next one. I also need to worry about my social media presence and my lack of posting. That's something I would have to worry about. Also, I'd also like to get rejected by a woman once, not once, more than a couple times, to know that it's okay to get rejected. That once she rejects you, it's not because you're worthless or you're ugly or she hates you or she she's just a like a slut who just wants to bounce on on Chad, you know? No, it's because well, it's like it could be for a multitude of reasons, and it's not. She's not gonna basically like dozens of people are not gonna come out the woodwork to laugh at you and call you like a pussy or a cuck or a loser. It's because it's just something that happens, and they're gonna forget about it, and you move on to the next one. That's something I'd like to work on because it's I seem to through my self-loathing and history with bullying and my lack of experience have seemed to overhype essentially women and sex and relationships in my head, and I'd like to basically get that out of my mind. Also, it is almost time for me to get hop off, and if you've made it this far, if you listened in this far, know that there is not going to be a morning stream because I will be at the doctor's for my physical. I'm going to see my family's doctor. Who I may or may not have a crush on. And if I'm late, she will give up my spot to somebody else. And it is hard to book a doctor. welcome to America. Our healthcare system and our education system really, really sucks. But hey, our military is insanely overfunded, so there's that. I wonder. Hold on. Let me check this. It's Domingo. Yeah, I never really got over that Domingo skit from SNL. Like, bro, if that ever happened to me, I would have shot Domingo. I would have crashed out, bro. I'm sorry. No more of that. That's over now. This is a slow transformation, but you're good to see the rise of a new and improved Jacobito Emiliano, or Jacobo Emiliano Jr. He is not going to cry about being bitchless. He is going to be proactive. No more me in my room going, boo-hoo, nobody wants me, boo-hoo, boo-hoo, please, I need comfort and validation. No. That's over now. He's on sabbatical. He's going to a Latin country to get some hookers and some blow. No, he wouldn't get blow, but he would get hookers. And you'd have them all tested. He'd go to a whorehouse, make sure all the girls were tested, so that he wouldn't, get anything when he came back to the States. He'd be a gentleman. Nobody wants me. My mom calls me handsome, but I don't believe her because no one wants me. I'm a pussy. Boo-hoo. Oh my god, cousins have girlfriends except for me. I'm such a fucking dweeb. Boo-hoo. No. I'll be alright. I'll be alright. Yeah, I went outside. I went out with my cousin, and honestly, don't know why I was so scared. It was nice. I loved it. Honestly, it was great. I think I needed this. I really needed that. I needed to basically go out and have a life of my own. I needed to go out and be 25. You know? I needed to live. And now I also need to pay off my student loan debt because right now the government is wildin'. Wildin' the fuck out. They're going crazy. And I want to be able to. I want to be able to live my life without being just under the boot heel of a giant company that thrives on false promises and predatory loan practices. I want that shit out of my life. Fuck them. They're all pricks. I'm not done yet. No, I'm kind of I don't know. I don't like the idea of AI music. It's like, you're AI, bro. Find a way to solve cancer, dude. Make fusion possible. Give us giant Gundam mechs. Do something. Come on. Bring forth the singularity or something. I don't know. Oh. I'm kind of like when it comes to the AI. Oh shit! No. Fuck me! I'm on the wrong layer. You know what? Screw it. Kind of like the tricycle kid from The Incredibles with AI. Mr. Incredible's like an AI system, and I'm just like the tricycle boy, and the AI is like, "What are you waiting for?" And I'm like, "I don't know, something amazing, I guess." And so far, it's like, it's like, it's like, come on, dude. Please. Give us something. What happened to the sci-fi future that movies had a sopped up on? Blade Runner takes place in what? Like, when does Blade Runner, the original Blade Runner, take place in? 2019. 2019. That was like 6 years ago for me now. And so far, I don't get replicants. Replicants would have been pleasure models. They would have been sex bots right now. We don't get sex bots. We don't get automated factory. We got a pandemic. We got a pandemic and AI that does all the creative work. That's lame, bro. What happened to the starships? What happened to interstellar travel? Like, what are you doing, bro? do something. Why do we have you here? I want to go visit Mars with my cat at Denning sex bot. I can't do that. But why am I not in Mars with my Salma Hayek, Sofia Vergara, Kat Dennings, and Violet Myers sex bot right now? Right, bots right now by now, huh? At this point, well, why are you here? Well, so you could steal more data from me and give to Meta or Instagram, bro. Fuck off. You promised me so much, and yet you delivered so little. I'll never trust an AI again. So far, people are using you to cheat on their exams or homework. Which, hey, fuck it. Homework sucks anyway. Do it. Yeah, I should probably go to bed. I think. Hold on. You know, how about this? I'm going to at least draw one hand on Conquest and some feet for artistry's sake. One, two, three. Okay. Yep. Yeah, this is it. I'm gone. Well, I was hoping for a paint over, but guess that's not happening. I'm gonna go. Next time I'm going to paint that arm, and then I'll be done with Conquest, and then I can start on like Anissa or an Evil Mark. And then maybe I can start on like something else. Maybe like, I don't know, Medivh or something that I haven't drawn before that I would like to draw. Maybe I can do a Dragon Ball sketch stream. Won't that be fun? Maybe I should. Maybe one thing I could do is take all of this, or actually, you know, how about this? I should do this in Procreate, and then basically with every additional sketch I make a reel out of it, and tag Invincible, because Invincible is so big on Instagram right now because of the show. That could be cool. But anyway, that's just me brainstorming ideas for audience build.